The following is a special presentation of the Buffalo Hearing and Speech Sound and Soul Gala 2018 on WBBZ-TV. It's made possible through the generosity of Mr. Russell J. Salvatore and the team at Russell Steaks, Chops, and More and Salvatore's Grand Hotel. From the Adams Mark Hotel in downtown Buffalo, enjoy a special presentation of the highlights of the Buffalo Hearing and Speech Sound and Soul Gala 2018. On Saturday, March 10th, close to 600 people celebrated the music, fashion, and fun of the 60s, 70s, and 80s at the Buffalo Hearing and Speech Sound and Soul Gala. Supporters of this great organization donned their best mod costumes to celebrate, donate, and bid on auction items to help raise money for this hometown organization. Chairs Lou Billatier Jr. of Chef's Restaurant, Brenda and Steve Carmina from Carmina Wood Morris, and Carolyn and Bill Panzica from the Chocolate Bar work with their committees to make this one of the most spectacular and fun fundraising events in Buffalo. With a warm Western New York welcome for special guest artist, entertainer, and humanitarian Michael Israel. Everyone is here to support a hometown organization that has been helping children, adults, and families for over 65 years, the Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center. They believe that communication is a basic human right. Their highly skilled and compassionate staff help people in whatever communication or learning needs required. Buffalo Hearing and Speech clinics, schools, and therapists work in a variety of settings in Western New York, leading the way in hearing and speech rehabilitation, language, and literacy proficiency therapies, and specialized programs, evidence-based autism interventions, early childhood education, and early intervention programs. Buffalo Hearing and Speech are a team of over 400 professionals helping thousands of people of all ages.
The Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center. It's language to literacy.
When you focus more, you'll learn more, and then you could achieve more in life.
It's oral deaf education.
Yeah, now they talk so much. They're never quiet.
And it's early intervention.
The people that they have here are they're remarkable. They're hands down the best teachers and therapists that I could ask to work with my daughter, and I'm sure tons of other parents feel the same way.
But most of all, it's a place in our own backyard where parents are given hope and children are given their tomorrows.
Let's check in with John DeShulo to get the gala going.
As a man that needs no introduction, when you talk about where family and friends meet to eat, you know of Chef's Restaurant. And we are family and we are friends here tonight. And he brings people together with his sister Mary Beth Billatier Darling at the restaurant every day. And he's brought us here tonight to celebrate the good work of the Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center. I can't account for the costume, but I can tell you that he is going to wow you. Lou Billatier Jr.
Before I get started, I'm going to be very brief, but I want to understand and everybody to understand why I'm dressed like this. Because I know you're saying this guy's the head of the board here. It's my girlfriend Katie and her two friends said, we're gonna go as Kiss. You're Simmons. Who knew? I didn't know which Simmons. Stand up, guys, to show them that. Go ahead. So I'm a little out of place. I'm Richard Simmons, Gene Simmons. It's all the same to me. I don't know. I just want to acknowledge our sponsors real quick. Of course, Lakeshore Savings Bank, our presenting sponsor. Dan Renega's on our board. Thank you. We went to Dan. We didn't have a presenting sponsor. I said, I don't know what we're going to do. And Dan said, no problem. I got this. And they were our presenting sponsor. So thank you.
Buffalo Hearing and Speech has been in Western New York for 65 years with a dedicated team, and many of those people are here tonight. So I'm honored now to introduce the force behind the Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center, a man that we know, we love and treasure, Would you please welcome the CEO and President of Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center, Joe Kozo. Come on, let's give it up for Joe Kozo. The man.
I want to share with you 2 aha moments that I've had this year. And those 2 moments will help me illustrate and explain to you what BHSC does every single day in our work with the children, with the adults, and with the families who find their way to our doors for help. Imagine, many of you in this room are parents. Imagine hearing the words, "Your child is deaf," or hearing the words, "Your child cannot read and is failing," or hearing the words, "Your child has autism." These are catastrophic words for a parent to hear, especially hearing them for the first time, which leads me to my first aha moment that I have to tell you about. I recently talked to a mom about her autistic son, and she talked to me about how cute he was as a baby, and even though he was diagnosed with autism, she prayed every single day for him to have a good and successful life. She dreamed of him growing up to be a doctor and a lawyer. She wanted for him what most parents want, a happy and successful life. Well, as the days wore on, she could tell things were just not right, but she continued to hope for a life of her special one. But as he grew older, she could see his struggles becoming more real every single day. And as he grew into school age, she found herself emotionally exhausted from handling those moments where her child just could not contain himself and would melt down. And as she described to me, often in public, with the judging eyes of other people on her. And if she would drive her child to school every single day, her heart broke because she watched him walk in alone, and she watched him often being picked on by the other children because he was different. And this is the aha moment. She told me that after watching this over and over again, something inside her snapped, and she began to sob uncontrollably sitting in her car. She said she was crying because she was grieving the realization that her son would never live the life that she hoped and dreamed for him, and that she had to accept that his special needs were going to cause him a lifetime of help, assistance, and therapy. And that's when she began to worry about his future, how he would survive, what would happen to him after she was gone, what would become of him as an adult. I can only describe what I felt from her in this way. This was a woman who now had a hole in her heart that would never heal. It gave me a profound moment of clarity about what happens at BHSC when we accept a child with autism. We're not only accepting the challenge of working and helping with the child, we're accepting and bearing the burden of that hole in a mom or a dad's heart. The hole where the dreams and hopes that we as parents have for our children, for her, was taken away.
We'll be back with more of the highlights of the Buffalo Hearing and Speech Sound and Soul Gala 2018 after this.